Splashdown confirmed.
Copy Splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Artemis Flight Control Room, known as the White Flight Control Room. This is the old Shuttle Flight Control Room, and now is the home of 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. I had an opportunity to talk to the head of Flight Dynamics, Jeff Birch, a moment. You can hear it. Jubilation here in the flight control room. The first crew member is out of integrity. We now have 2 crew members out. Crew member number 3 now out. And we now have Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle, all 4 crew members now out of integrity.
They did, the more magical it seems what they were able to accomplish given the technology and the learnings that they had. But when we did Apollo, the architects of Apollo, you know, Gilbert, Seaman, von Braun, Mueller, what they really wanted on those paths, right? So we recognized during Apollo that reusability was going to be important. We spent a lot of money on those machines, and you know, we spent a lot of money on these machines here. Even though, but we recognized that reusability was important, which is why we built a winged space plane called Space Shuttle. And then we used that reusable machine to build a space station. And we learned for 25 years how to live and work in space and have been able to develop technologies that can enable it. NASA's Associate Administrator, as we begin to hoist the crew onto the helicopters to head back to the recovery ship. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations on that. This is Mission Control Houston, with the crew members now beginning to be hoisted.
A recovery specialist out of the helicopter. That person will touch down in the front porch just there. The crew members already outfitted with a harness that will allow them to quickly attach to the hoisting device. Look at the power of those blades throwing water out at the center there, the front porch, with now 3 astronauts and the recovery specialists. And here we go. Second astronaut now off the front porch, getting hoisted into the second helicopter. As we wait for that helicopter to come back, make its way back around, just want to mention that the President of the United States called our NASA administrator 40 feet over the front porch. We will soon see another recovery specialist getting lowered onto the front porch. Wow, imagine sitting on that front porch, the wind, the water. But again, the recovery team determined that a helicopter flight back to the ship here would be safer, faster, and more comfortable for our crew who just completed a 10-day mission around the moon. Helicopter now making its way back over to the front porch. In its final approach here. The last astronaut, Commander Reed Weissman, now off the front porch and almost into the second helicopter. Both now on their way back to the stage. Exciting to see our 4 crew members minutes away from landing on the flight deck here on the recovery ship. 550 people on this ship.
Oh my God.
The first helicopter coming in.
Holy crap.
Incoming. 2 more helicopters on their way to the flight deck, one carrying the... And there you go. We now have all 4 Artemis 2 crew members on the USS John P. Murtha. Quick verbal assessments of how they're feeling. As that third helicopter touches down. Well, just all right, and now here we see astronauts who just made history as the first crew to return to the moon since 1972. Victor and Christina first. We saw the administrator walk over to the other helicopter, which is carrying Commander Reed Weissman, and a hug from Christina. What a moment that we're getting to experience together. And here we go. We're seeing Jeremy walking, waving across the flight deck, now on his way to the medical bay. Making her way, looking thankful, grateful, happy to be home. Welcoming medical bay. More hugs, more hugs. He's a hugger. Victor looking good as he walks across the flight deck. NASA administrator applauding. Victor applauding. Their safe return today. Left on the flight deck, Commander Reed Weissman. Applaud applause from the group there on the flight deck, I'm sure, as well as on the level just above them, packed with people. Reed looking good as he takes his steps towards the medical bay.